The rain hammered against the windows of my small apartment in Seattle, mirroring the storm raging inside me. Anselm, a 44-year-old architect, had always prided myself on my ability to design structures that were both beautiful and resilient. Ironic, considering the state of my own life. For 15 years, I thought I had built something equally strong and beautiful with my wife, Isolde. We met in college, two art students drawn together by a shared passion for creativity and a deep, unspoken connection. Our marriage was, as far as I could tell, a partnership of equals, filled with love, laughter, and mutual respect. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our shared dreams of traveling the world and building our own design firm. Then 3 months ago, the first crack appeared. Isolde, who worked as a marketing manager for a tech company, started working late more frequently. She attributed it to a demanding new project, and I, ever the supportive husband, made sure dinner was warm and waiting whenever she finally stumbled through the door. I even started handling more of the household chores, wanting to ease her burden. Fool that I was. The second crack came in the form of a misplaced phone. Isolde usually kept her phone glued to her hand, but one Saturday morning, while she was supposedly at a team-building retreat, her phone buzzed incessantly on the kitchen counter. Curiosity, that insidious little devil, got the better of me. I knew I shouldn't, but I picked it up. It was a text message from someone saved as Mark Project Lead. The message read, "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again next week." My blood ran cold. Amazing. See you again. This wasn't about spreadsheets and marketing campaigns. This was something else entirely. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me, followed by a burning anger I had never experienced before. I wanted to smash the phone, scream at the top of my lungs, but I forced myself to remain calm. I needed to know more. Over the next few weeks, I became a shadow, a ghost in my own home. I started paying attention to the little things I had previously overlooked. The way Isolde's eyes lit up when she talked about Mark, the subtle changes in her perfume, the way she flinched when I touched her. I started checking her phone when she was in the shower, reading her emails when she left her laptop open. I know it wasn't right, but I couldn't stop myself. I needed proof, undeniable evidence that my suspicions were correct, and I found it. Buried deep within her email inbox, hidden in a folder labeled personal, were dozens of messages between Isolde and Mark. They were filled with intimate details, passionate declarations of love, and plans for a future together. They talked about leaving their spouses, starting a new life in another city, having children. My children. The children we had always talked about having together. The pain was unbearable. It felt like someone had ripped my heart out of my chest and stomped on it. I spent sleepless nights staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of our relationship in my head, searching for clues I had missed, wondering where I had gone wrong. Was I not good enough? Was I not attentive enough? Was I not enough of a man for her? The more I learned, the more I realized the extent of Isolde's betrayal. This wasn't just a casual fling. It was a full-blown affair, a carefully constructed web of lies and deceit that had been going on for months. She had been living a double life, pretending to be the loving wife while secretly plotting to destroy everything we had built together. I knew I couldn't stay in the dark any longer. I needed to confront her, to hear her explain herself, even though I knew there was no explanation that could ever justify her actions. I waited for her to come home from work one evening, my heart pounding in my chest, my hands trembling. When she walked through the door, she greeted me with a perfunctory kiss, her eyes avoiding mine. "How was your day?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Fine," she replied, shrugging off her coat. "Just busy. Another late night tomorrow. Big presentation on Friday. Isolde, we need to talk," I said, my voice growing stronger. She sighed, rolling her eyes. "Can't it wait, Anselm? I'm exhausted." "No, it can't wait," I said, my voice now firm. "I know about Mark." Her face paled. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. She just stood there, frozen, like a deer caught in headlights. "I read your emails, Isolde," I continued, my voice shaking with anger and pain. "I know everything. The lies, the deceit, the plans for a future with him. How could you do this to me? How could you betray me like this?" Tears welled up in her eyes, but I felt no sympathy. "Anselm, she stammered. "Don't," I interrupted. "Don't even try to explain. There's nothing you can say that will make this any better. I trusted you, Isolde. I loved you with all my heart. And you threw it all away for some cheap affair with a man you barely know." She started to cry, her body shaking with sobs. "I'm so sorry, Anselm," she said, her voice muffled by her tears. "I never meant to hurt you, but you did hurt me, Isolde," I said, my voice cold and hard. "You hurt me more than you can ever imagine. And I don't think I can ever forgive you for that." I turned and walked away, leaving her standing there in the hallway, a broken shell of the woman I thought I knew. I spent the next few days in a daze, numb to the world around me. I called a lawyer, filed for divorce, and started packing my belongings. I couldn't bear to stay in that apartment any longer, surrounded by the memories of our life together. As I was packing, I stumbled upon a box of old photographs. There were pictures of Isolde and me from our college days, pictures from our wedding, pictures from our travels. I looked at her face in those pictures, her eyes filled with love and happiness, and I wondered how it had all gone so wrong. How had the woman I loved so much become the person who had caused me so much pain? I sat down on the floor, surrounded by the remnants of our shattered life, and I wept. I wept for the love we had lost, for the future that would never be, for the man I used to be. And as I wept, I made a vow to myself. I vowed to pick up the pieces of my broken heart, to rebuild my life, and to never let anyone treat me with such disrespect again. The divorce was finalized quickly and painlessly. Isolde didn't contest it, and I didn't ask for anything more than what I was legally entitled to. I just wanted to be done with it, to put it all behind me and move on. I moved into a smaller apartment in a different part of the city, a place that felt clean and new, free from the ghosts of my past. I threw myself into my work, designing buildings that were even more beautiful and resilient than before. I started exercising, eating healthier, and spending more time with my friends. One evening, a few months after the divorce, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering it, but curiosity got the better of me. "Hello," I said. "Anselm, it's Mark," the voice on the other end said. "Mark from the office." My blood ran cold again. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice tight with anger. "I wanted to apologize," he said, "for everything, for what I did to you and Isolde." I scoffed. "An apology? That's all you have to say? You destroyed my marriage, you ruined my life, and all you can offer is an apology." "I know it's not enough," he said, "but I wanted you to know that I regret what happened. Isolde and I are no longer together. She left me a few weeks ago, said she couldn't live with the guilt." I felt a flicker of satisfaction, a small measure of justice. "So she left you," I said. "Karma, I guess." "Yeah, karma," he replied. "Listen, Anselm, I know this doesn't make up for anything, but I wanted you to know that I'm paying the price for my actions. My wife left me, I lost my job, and I'm facing a lawsuit from my former employer. I've lost everything." I didn't say anything for a moment. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to gloat, to revel in his misery, but another part of me felt a strange sense of pity for him. He had made a mistake, a terrible mistake, and he was now paying the consequences. "I hope you learn from this, Mark," I said finally. "I hope you learn that actions have consequences, and that cheating on someone you supposedly care about is never worth it." "I have learned my lesson, Anselm," he said. "I have learned it the hard way." I hung up the phone, feeling a strange sense of closure. I knew that Mark's apology didn't erase the pain of Isolde's betrayal, but it did give me a sense of satisfaction, a feeling that justice had been served. I never spoke to Isolde again. I heard through mutual friends that she was struggling, that she was lonely and unhappy. But I didn't care. I had moved on with my life, and I wasn't going to let her drag me back into her misery. It took a long time, but I eventually healed from the pain of Isolde's betrayal. I learned to trust again, to love again, and to build a new life for myself, a life that was even better than the one I had before. I met someone new, a woman named Gwyneth who appreciated my honesty, my kindness, and my passion for architecture. We built a strong and loving relationship based on mutual respect and trust. And as I looked back on the wreckage of my past, I realized that Isolde's betrayal, while incredibly painful, had ultimately made me a stronger and better man. It had taught me the importance of self-respect, the value of honesty, and the resilience of the human spirit. And for that, I was grateful. The rain outside had stopped, and the sun was beginning to peek through the clouds. A new day was dawning, and I was ready to face it with hope and optimism. I had survived the storm, and I had emerged stronger on the other side.